I'm dancing. I'm excited. I got the Cybertron theme stuck in my head. What's going on? I feel something. Oh, might it be the returning character of Metroplex showing up in the Cybertron form? Hello, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time this is an official, legitimate reveal that just kind of dropped out of nowhere. I'm not even sure why, but Kapow Toys and another source said that we're gonna get the reveal today, and well, it seems to be the case. This is the Transformers Generations Legacy. This is the Cybertron Universe, which is kind of weird that they don't really call it the Unicron Trilogy Universe, but whatever. This is Metroplex, and he is, of course, based on that form, so this is not the G1 Metroplex. Don't expect it to be, of course. And I am super excited because the Cybertron series is where I started getting into Transformers. Now, it's not the first series that I watched. That was Beast Wars. I also watched a little bit of Armada, and I think a few episodes of Energon. I know I watched RID, but the first show that I really dived into and thought, okay, I'm definitely getting into Transformers, was the Cybertron series, and this was my introduction to Metroplex. I never even heard of the character up until this point, and I am so thrilled that they're doing this, and I'm so thrilled that it is going to be a Titan class figure, because that is an appropriate size for something like this. And hopefully down the road we might see more giant sized characters like this. Like, I would love to see a Titan class Menasor, not the Menasor that we're getting in Legacy already, but Menasor from Cybertron to compete with this guy, because I believe that they were two different classes, so it'd be kind of awkward. But yeah, this is the packaging art, and one thing I will point out is that you've got a couple of Easter eggs around it. First of all, you have Kickback at the bottom, and then you also have the Nemesis above his head, and he's also chopping down Inferno from Beast Wars, which pretty much confirms that yes, we are going to get Inferno. That was listed before, so yeah, it seems like it's going to be the case. Anyways, let's take a look at the actual toy itself, starting with the alt mode. Now, I know certain people don't like the alt mode, and I understand that completely. It just looks like a bunch of limbs just folded up. It's not really much of anything, but considering that what he's meant to be, it doesn't really need to be anything specific, I guess, so I'm fine with it, and it is based on that original toy, so whatever. You do see the limbs underneath, and the arms just kind of tuck away under that, and I will say that the arms do look better than the original toy, because they were just like out of nowhere, just it was weird. But yeah, it's just a bunch of limbs, but the bottom portion is not why you love this alt mode. It's the weapon and how it gets integrated with the giant excavator saw blade and claw at the front. Now, one thing that does concern me is the fact that it doesn't include a couple of things. It doesn't include a giant cyber planet key, which would be a cool nod to the original toy. Now, it doesn't need to use it, but it'd be something cool, kind of like how the Ark has the golden discs. It'd just be a nice addition, especially considering that the original Metroplex came with the gold giant planet key, which was more significant to the plot of the show. And also, it doesn't seem that he includes his minicon, which I believe was Drillbit. And I feel like that is a massive miss on the toy. And it does concern me that maybe Armada Starscream is not going to include his minicon. Now, I do find it really strange, especially with the fact that he doesn't even seem to include minicon ports, considering that the Legacy Bulkhead that came out seems to include ports that are specific to minicons, or in the shape of what they usually have for minicon ports. So why would you have that but not have anything to go with the Metroplex? That just seems like an odd thing. And considering that when you look at some of the other Titan class figures, you've got the original Metroplex that came out almost a decade ago that came with Scamper. You had, I think it was Scamper, you had the Omega Supreme that came with Countdown, you have the Ark that came with Mainframe, and then you have the Scorponok that came with Zarek and his little Titan Master. So why doesn't this have drill bit? It would be something to incorporate with the figure, some, playability addition to it. But still, you got the articulation, which is good. And then it also seems like it's got some handles, so you could probably lift it up. It'd be awesome if you can get this guy to lift it up. That'd be pretty cool. Which, by the way, I have these two, mostly because, it's from the Cybertron series, so no doubt I really want this Metroplex. But, the colors are fine. The shaping is, pretty appropriate to what it's supposed to be. So I'm not going to complain. And, of course, that giant saw blade, that wins it overall. And then also we have this smaller form. This is more like a worker form. And what's cool about this is it's a nod to the original toy and how you just rotate the head and it almost looked like it had a visor, but then you also shorten the legs. And I think the purpose of doing that was when you had the giant planet characters like Landmine, Menasor, and Metroplex, they were in the certain classes of Voyager, Ultra, and Leader. But to make them taller compared to some of the other figures, their limbs pretty much grew. You extended them out. So this is more of a nod to that, but I do like the smokestacks that actually point to the front now. I also love how they decided to separate the weapons and put them on each hand. So this definitely does feel more like a worker form to the Metroplex, and it almost looks like you got an additional handle on the back there to kind of play around with that. By the way, I love the fact that he still continues to have the shovels on the feet. I mean, I just love that. And then we take a look at his full robot form, and this is where everything comes together, and I love this. Starting off with the articulation, so it seems like you're going to have additional articulation in the legs, which is appropriate. I do like that. It seems like you've got a rotational joint. I'm not sure if you get a foot tilt, but I would imagine with something like this, you would. I do like the majority of the head. I don't like the face so much. I feel like it's a little too flat, but I do like the gold on it, so it's fine. The helmet around it does look appropriate. I like the kind of smokestack style horns. And I also love the fact that the torso has the black and then the white in the middle, the core, so that's pretty cool. And he's also got an ab crunch, so that's pretty good. Also, if you look at the shoulders, it has two different joints to go out. So it's got one within the torso and then the appropriate ratcheted shoulder joint, which it seems to have heavy ratchets, which it needs for a weapon like that. Take a look at that giant saw blade. I couldn't even find a picture where he's holding it up appropriately. There probably is one, but I mean, it's probably too heavy for that, and I don't blame it. It looks really wicked, and you also have an additional joint on the handle itself so that you can move that around if you want, which is awesome, because if you look at some of the other images, he dual wields the weapon, which is appropriate for the character like this. So, I'm liking this a lot. It looks massive. It looks wicked. I'm kind of hoping that you can attach the saw blade to this form of Optimus Prime like you could with the original toy. I knew a kid, and yes, you do have foot tilt. I just spotted that on the toy. I knew a kid who had this, and he let me mess around with the Metroplex, and it was such a fun toy, but I never got the original figure. And I think it would be awesome to get this, especially with the articulation, especially with the modern engineering of Generations. I'm super thrilled about this, especially considering that this is something from my specific childhood, not just from Generation 1 or Beast Wars. This is something from Cybertron, and they're diving in on that, especially in a big way like this, and I can't wait to see what they do in the future, because this is probably just going to be the start of making Cybertron a big deal. So, with that out of the way, what do you guys think? Please comment below, let me know. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads, and we'll see you guys next time.
AllSpark TV. Now that's just prime.